I mean, I knew sharks existed, but I definitely thought of them as just fish. As an enlightened adult now, I know that sharks are practically human. They behave in the water kind of like a human who were a fish might.
Hi, this is the Professional Amateur coming to you with another review for the Geek Legion of Doom. This time I checked out No Shark, and this 2022 film was directed by Cody Clark and stars Jules, Roscoe, and Livy Shaffrey, and Bill Whedon, among others of course. The story of this black comedy involves this girl, and all she wants to do is die by a shark attack. She lives in New York City, so she goes to all the beaches around New York City and looks for a shark. While she's sitting on the beach, we get this kind of running monologue in her head, and she has a few interactions with people here or there. But yeah, that's essentially it. And is there a shark? Well, my lips are sealed on that one, so you will have to watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this movie. Well, I gotta tell you, I originally was not going to do a review for this one. I was just going to watch it and try to enjoy it. But the last third just put me in so many chuckles that I just had to tell you about it. I don't think this is going to be for like everyone, of course, but it is going to be for a certain type of person. With this movie, it is, I think, again, a black comedy, so you have to really, embrace kind of that blackness to it, where this girl, all she wants to do is die, and she's just talking about death the whole time, and about how the teeth will rip into her body and stuff like that. And so it's very, very dark that way. I would say it's like the darkest of black comedies for sure. But I just started watching this one, late at night one night, and I don't know, there's something about it that I kind of really did enjoy. I think it's from my personal background, being kind of like a literature major. It kind of reminds me very much of like, Virginia Woolf's kind of writing, kind of very much this stream of consciousness style to it, because when she goes to the beach, it's just her monologue. Like, she'll talk to other characters, but it'll be her monologue over it. She'll be like, oh, I say something about this and they're really liking me. And so it's very much the stream of consciousness thing. Like, what's that book called? Is it Miss Dowey or Dowry or something? And so if you are into, kind of that stream of consciousness, this is very interesting. It's just her thoughts the whole time for the hour and 50 minutes. It is a little bit too long in my opinion, but it's just, again, an hour and 50 minutes of this kind of black comedy monologue thing going on. And of course, while you're listening to her monologue, you're just looking at these nice looking beach ladies in their bikinis and stuff. And it's just, all bikini ladies with this black monologue over it. It's very interesting for someone like me who enjoys that, stream of consciousness style. In addition, with the theme of, Virginia Woolf, this has a very, woman empowerment kind of feel to it. With the main character, she's bisexual, so she's kind of like flirting with the other ladies on the beaches and stuff like that. And she doesn't take any guff from any guy as well. And, there's lots of books out there like that I, have read and enjoyed as well. There's one book called The Awakening, where a woman walks into the sea at the end. And I kind of thought that was where it was going, but it actually doesn't go like that. I actually laughed out loud with the ending. That's partly why I wanted to do this review. I absolutely love that ending. It was so surprising. I really did enjoy it. Let's see, what else? This is a black comedy. I was chuckling along with most of it. And then the last third, I was like laughing out loud with it. I thought it was so funny. But it is very patient with its jokes. It really does take its time. And you really have to be involved in order to really get the jokes as well. So the jokes are definitely not going to be for everyone. But yeah, if you can stand everything else, it is quite funny in the end. And that last third, oh man, I was laughing out loud. And lastly, this movie has an interesting way of shooting. It is lots of just static shots for many, many minutes. And it's usually just, this woman from behind or this woman sitting on the beach. And again, you just hear what she's saying. And so if you just like looking at ladies, then this might be something for you. I would also say if you're like a lonely person and you just want someone to talk to you, this one is just her talking to you for an hour and 50 minutes. And so it definitely helped me that way. I was just not feeling in a very good mood. So having someone to talk to, or at least talk to me, I did enjoy. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, I think everything I said in the good half is going to come full circle. It is, again, just her talking the whole way through. She never stops. It's just her talking. And she just, talks about random stuff like this.
For all we know, the animals they do eat could be swimming around all day begging to die through their energy, and sharks are simply granting them their wish. The ocean is a rough place, and a fish being suicidal would totally make sense.
And here's something else random she says.
He wants absolutely nothing from me other than to play Velcro catch with me and look out at the water with me. I even love his little Speedo. It's badass.
And so you can go to any random moment in this movie and just start listening, I would say. You'd probably be a little bit confused if you didn't start at the beginning, but it's just her talking the whole way through. So I hope you like her voice because that's all you're hearing. Also, I would say it's a boring movie. It's just, stream of consciousness kind of dialogue from her. And the visuals are, again, just kind of long static shots of people sitting on a beach or standing on a beach. So you don't really have to actually pay too much attention to what's happening on screen. I think it would work as like an audiobook or an actual book. For me, I was just playing on my iPad for the first half, and then in the second half, I was like, this is getting pretty interesting. Let me put my iPad down and watch. And so, yeah, if you're into not really watching movies or half watching movies, this might be something for you. And when it comes down to it, I would say this is very much like a student film, or at least has that feeling where you don't really think the person knows what they're doing. I did look up the writer-director, and he did seem to have some other films, so I think he knows what he's doing. And with that black comedy aspect and how it all plays out in the end, he definitely knows what he's doing. So it is just that feeling that you get that you're watching a student film for an hour and 50 minutes. So if that's not for you, then yeah, stay away. And the most annoying part was when it was just like the waves crashing on the shore or some rocks and whatever, and it's just her dialogue, and you're like, this is pretty boring, right? So yeah, it's an interesting thing. I think, again, it has that kind of literature quality to it where it really does seem like a book on screen. So who would I recommend this movie for? Well, I think literature majors would enjoy it. It definitely has that book quality to it. Or if you're just like listening to it, I would also say it's perfectly fine. Definitely works as an audiobook as well. Oh, look at that. It's available as a book. So yeah, if you're into that type of style, then yeah, totally watch it. If you're into black comedy, this is like, again, the darkest of black comedies. You just have to be patient with your jokes. And with that being said, yeah, I think those are probably going to be the main audience. As for rating, well, surprisingly, I have to give it the above average score of 6. It definitely was for me. I think if you watch like the first 5 minutes and you gotta like ditch it, then ditch it. If you're into it for after like 15 minutes, then this might be a movie for you. So it really does have, I think, a specific audience. It's actually kind of strange. It has a 6 rating on IMDb too. So I don't know what I was thinking when I pressed play, but I was glad I did. With that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.